How I went from not graduating high school, not going to college, to having a national commercial interior design firm, and in between doing things like a kids fitness program and marketing and working for a healthcare company. The most important thing in my journey has nothing to do with interior design. In fact, most of it has nothing to do with interior design. I needed to reframe my brain. I needed to become the person who could then realize she was capable of things. I didn't go to college because I didn't think I was capable. If you want to know how I became her when I really thought I was capable of nothing, let me know in the comments and I'll do a totally separate video on that, not related to interior design. The next thing that happened was I slowly started to learn that I was a little bit addicted to problem solving. Through many of the different career dip my toe in tests I did in different niche areas of the world, the work world, I started to discover that I loved solving problems. I loved reading between the lines. I loved seeing where solutions would be present or could be present or should be present. And the last real step in this journey was when I was working for this healthcare company and I was listening to the owners complain. They were working with these interior designers who, by the way, were great, spending millions of dollars renovating nursing homes and assisted livings. And they just weren't happy with the results, but they couldn't figure out why, because the results were technically pretty. Certainly an upgrade to what they were starting with. But my role, and this is the important part, had nothing to do with this department. Zero, zilch, nothing. Apparently I'm nosy Nancy without even realizing it, and I was just listening to this in the background, and this is what would happen. The owners would come back from some conference or vacation, and they would show the interior designers a photo on their phone of a carpet from this hotel or a lobby from this hotel. Say, this is what we want in the next nursing home. Like if we're starting on this one out in Tennessee, this is what we want. These interior designers who were eager to please would design completely around that little, here, look at my phone, this is what I want direction. In their defense, they would nail it. Owners would approve of the designs, but they just weren't happy. One day, I sat in a conference room in one of the design presentations. No idea why. I didn't belong there. It had nothing to do with my role. And I'm listening to this designer, who was my least favorite of all the ones they were working with, as she presented this design, which was technically a good, nice, cohesive design. That's when I realized. That's when I realized what was wrong. I must have made a face because she don't Botox. My boss saw, and he looks at me, he goes, okay, what? I'm like, no, I'm just here to watch, to listen, don't mind me. He goes, okay, come on, what? And that was when I explained that light bulb moment that had happened for me of why they weren't happy. Back for part 2 while I catch my breath.